especially Harold Farris driving really hard. Sauter's shown surprising strength as well. Both these guys have done a good job all day long, but bad luck in the pits and some poor choices on stops, and that's what will happen to you in a long race like this.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, Butch Miller has spun and maybe hit the wall. He just ran out of rubber, Brock.
Boy, I don't know. Is he underway again? It doesn't look like he's got any bodywork damage on the back. Apparently, he just put it up against the fence and has gotten back underway. But obviously, the tires are in terrible shape. What happens now is we're under caution, I think. Yeah, the yellow flag is out, Steve. I don't know whether Butch brought it out or what. Here comes Dowder. He is our current leader. He is probably going to try to make a stop, although he tucks in behind the pace car. So I don't know whether Butch Miller brought out his own yellow flag, which will permit him to stop.
Well, that is just amazing. Here, that was the crew of Bobby Dowder. Here is the crew in the red shirts of Butch Miller. That's an amazing scenario you just mentioned. I mean, I can't imagine a guy would spin to bring out his own yellow. If he did, it's a first as far as I know anyway. Butch Miller ducks in, and there's Bobby Dowder.
Oh, so both the leaders come into the pits. Let's see what Dowder takes on. Oh, right side tires for sure. There goes that hand jack. Here comes Butch Miller. I'm sure he'll take on right sides as well. Remember now, Steve, they only get 2 tires. They cannot take on all 4. I'm sure Butch would like to have all 4 right now. Here's Dowder. Good, quick stop by his crew.
You know, Butch Miller, I mean, he wasn't lazy about it, but he didn't even come into the pits very hot. Maybe just being careful here. But I tell you, this is not a particularly good stop for 52. There is Glenn Allen Jr. going back out, and there is Butch Miller. His pit work today has, well, been a little disappointing.
Yeah, not as quick as this crew normally gets done with, and I'm sure that crew is a little disappointed at this point. But at least they got the yellow they wanted, and it may have been their man who brought it out. What I don't understand is there may be some debris on the racetrack, or the ASA officials are checking, but let's go down now to Big Daddy Don Garland's.
Put some fresh tires on there. That they're going to help you get through. Will that take it to the end?
Well, it's hard to say. If we got the right set on there, it'll definitely take us to the end. That set was a perfect set. The car was running nice and smooth. We shouldn't have to stop. If there is another yellow late and there's a few cars giving us pressure, we're going to have to put right sides on again. No doubt about it.
Well, there you go. There's the word from Fred Repler. He says to Big Daddy, we may have to stop one more time. So the plot thickens here, Steve.
Well, he said if we get pressure, what do you think is going to happen with Kenny Wallace, Glenn Allen Jr., and especially now with Butch Miller and Jody Ridley on new rubber? You can count on pressure.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was amazing. Butch Miller was rapidly advancing to the rear there, and suddenly the yellow comes out, and he gets a fresh chance to go after the leaders. And you know, if 52 is hooked up, it's as quick as there is on the racetrack. That's one good race car with one good driver. So Bobby Dowder with kind of a crippled automobile. We're going to get ready for a restart here.
And Harold Fair, who's running third in that pack a lap down, has a great chance to unlap himself. He has got one of them, and in front of him is the leader. If Harold Fair could get in front of Bobby Dowder in that number 6 car, maybe catch another yellow, circle around to the back. I tell you, he's not out of this thing yet.
Well, that's what makes short track racing so exciting. And there's a lady that's excited. That's Bobby Dowder's mom. And she says, come on, Bobby, stick it in there. Stay ahead of Harold and all the rest of those guys that are right all over his bumper.
Oh, yeah, and here's 3 that want to gather him up. Kenny Wallace in the 6 car. Glenn Allen Jr., 66, 52, Butch Miller, 3 ASA stars, all battling for that 3rd position.
There's Kenny coming off turn number 4. Bobby Dowder now still has moved out a little bit on Harold Fair, but look at Glenn Allen go low on Kenny Wallace trying to move up there. But right now, I would say Glenn better take a look in his rearview mirror, because number 52, Butch Miller, is all over him as Kenny stays high and appears like Butch is going to try to follow him through and get around Glenn Allen Jr. as they head down into turn number 1. And off turn 2, Allen stays low. Pretty aggressive move there by the youngster. He's not going to let Butch Miller by.
Absolutely, he's not going to make it easy for him. He shouldn't. And look at Miller. He doesn't care if it's easy or not. He's going to execute the pass, and now tangle with the 3 car driven by Kenny Wallace. What tremendous short track racing. Unbelievable.
Well, look at this, Steve. Butch Miller down the back straightaway. He's got the inside on Kenny Wallace. Will he be able to make it work? Down low, Butch Miller. The battle for 2nd place here. Down the front straightaway. Kenny had a brief spurt of speed, but look, Butch Miller has now moved into second place.
And Butch Miller's tire management in the pits has obviously been superb, because they've got a set of tires that are now in a chassis setup where he can run just about anywhere on this racetrack.
So that last caution was critical, not only for Butch Miller, but for this man, Harold Fair, 81. It gave him a chance to move into a position right now to unlap himself. So he is now just past Bobby Dutter, the leader, and is on the lead lap. So he's back in it as well.
Oh, Harold Fair just never got down on himself, never started to believe that he couldn't win this thing, and it's all paying off for him. Now, don't you know that Harold Fair would just like to see a little bit? Oh, he's going to get it! Harold Fair is going to get the caution he needs.
Jay Sauter is in the fence. It looks like exactly the same kind of right front tire failure that took out Seneca and Burgess. Apparently uninjured. There he is getting out of the car. Certainly disappointed. He ran with the leaders all day long. But what happens? He brings out a yellow, which is going to increase the suspense as we head toward the end here in Nashville.
While we took a break, virtually this entire field, certainly all of the contenders, were in and out of the pits. Everybody's got new rubber on the right side, and what a duke-out this is going to be. Bobby Dutter in the 6th car trying to hold off Jody Ridley, Glenn Allen Jr., Butch Miller, Kenny Wallace, and of course Harold Fair, who has now unlapped himself and has moved up into that 6th position. Also, Scott Hansen has unlapped himself to get into 7th. Brock, see if you can raise Harold Fair. What a story he is.
Right, here we go.
Harold Fair, this is Brock Case, Diamond P Sports. How you doing, Brock? Well, we're doing good. I think the question is how you're doing. I've been watching you, but it's been kind of a hard afternoon. I don't think I've worked this hard in a long time, Brock. It was my fault. I made a call earlier, told the guys not to change tires when the leaders did, and we had some long green, and we lost a lap, and we've been fighting it ever since, Brock. I know. We watched you do that, and it's just a gamble you got to make in this kind of a long-distance race. Some days it bites you, and some days you get lucky, but that was a terrible long green. Everybody was starting to ache at the end of it. Yeah, I just hope that maybe we can bite it back a little here. We got a little time left. We'll be cheering for you. Good luck, Harold. Thank you, Brock.
Buckle up, everybody. This is going to be some kind of a finish with 12 laps left. Jody Ridley tucks right in behind Bobby Dutter. All of the crews cheering him on. There's the Ridley bunts in. Go, Jody, go. I'll tell you, he has driven his race all day, Brock. This is exactly where he intended to be at this point in time.
No question, Jody Ridley, a very crafty race. Fell back for a while, but now he's moved up. He's gotten the lead for a moment anyway as they come off turn number 4. Jody Ridley has taken the lead. Fantastic. Fell way back for a while. Great pit work by these bunch of guys from Chatsworth, Georgia, have put him back in the front.
Absolutely. He has done a tremendous job. Bobby Dutter as well. Well, all of these guys who are on the lead lap have done a tremendous job in what has been a race with not all that many yellow flags.
Well, let's not forget that man back there in 3rd spot, Butch Miller, and right behind him, Harold Fair. So you got 4 hard, experienced runners right on the lead lap, just chasing each other down. And look at Jody Ridley pull out about a 2-car length lead here. So Jody Ridley right now is showing real strength. Bobby Dutter with that beat-up automobile still in 2nd. Butch Miller in 3rd.
And his crew continues to root him on. At this point in the race, you don't let anybody go by you thinking, well, I'll just pass him later, because that isn't going to happen. That's Bobby Dutter. Bobby Dutter is striking back on Ridley.
Coming back on the low side. Everybody in the place on their feet. We're only a few laps from the end of this show. Everybody cheering him on. Mom is going crazy down there. Bobby Dutter has got a nose on Jody Ridley down the back straightaway.
Oh, but the crew sees Ridley strike back. That took a little of their enthusiasm away. Bobby Dutter on the inside. And look at Butch Miller in the 52 car. He's in 3rd spot. Harold Fair right behind him. There again is Ridley's crew saying, Jody, win it for us, baby cakes. This is the most money we'd ever won in short track racing. But Dutter says no.
Dutter gets a little loose coming off turn number 2. Down into turn 3, side by side. 4 guys you can throw a blanket under him. Butch Miller tucked right up on Dutter's rear bumper. Jody Ridley side by side down into turn 1. Through turn 2. Ridley doesn't give an inch on the high side. Dutter's loose down the back straightaway.
And Miller follows right in behind Dutter. 1 Blue Thunderbird Daughter trying to hold up a pack of General Motors automobiles.
Look at Harold Fair up alongside Butch Miller. 4 cars, looks like the pace lap. Look at these guys run down into turn number 1. Ridley now with almost a car length lead. Daughter back down low. Daughter slides, bumps up against Ridley down the back straightaway. They're into each other in the fence.
The leaders have taken each other out of this event, and also some innocent bystanders. I'll tell you, talk about competition. They got into it so hard that it proved to be a disaster for them.
Jody Ridley keeps going, gets underway. Not so with Bob Daughter. He is up against the fence, and we've got Harold Fair up against the fence as well.
There's the crew for Jody Ridley, anticipating that he'll be coming in. Well, Bobby Daughter may be coming in too, but he'll be on the hook, Brock.
Oh, yeah, he's finished for the day. No question about it. Helmet off, out of the car. He is, I'm sure, really just totally wired up and completely disappointed as his crew chief, there he is, stunned by the sudden turn of events here, because the 2 leaders down to turn number 3, side by side. We saw Daughter get a little loose. Here comes Jody Ridley into the pits. It looks like the race car's in pretty good shape. He may have flat spotted a tire, Steve, but overall the race car doesn't seem that bad up. But they are going to make a stop to inspect and probably tear away some of that bodywork on the left front. Yeah, that's what's going to tear down a tire unless they get that fixed.
Oh, the emotions of this event, the ebb and the flow, especially here in the last half a dozen laps, unbelievable. They are changing a left tire. Possibly notice that it maybe got cut on a little debris. They look at the right ones that haven't been on there all that long.
Oh, look at this. The left rear corner of that car is hurt pretty badly. Apparently no suspension damage. Jody back out underway. Let's take one more look at what happened here just a few laps from the end of this long race. There's Daughter getting loose coming off turn number 2, Steve. You can see him look like he accidentally just starts to shove Jody up against the outside fence. I don't think that was intentional. That car's been loose for quite a while.
And now Ridley pushes back to try to get back down on the low side of the racetrack, and he takes Daughter with him. And as we see here, as they spin, it is Daughter who, in fact, he did collect Harold Fair.
He did. But watch Miller slide by on the outside. Kenny Wallace in the middle of it as well in the white number 3 car. So the leaders all get collected except for Butch Miller, who stays on the low side. So we've got a caution, and amazingly, this man, who apparently brought out his own yellow flag, or at least appeared to be very fortunate, is now in the lead. Bobby Daughter back into the pits. He's out for the day. A major change of events here at Nashville.